Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's a girl Roxy again. Today you're going to make a beautiful Bella Vase inspired by Gallerie. I'll be using the procedure my friend budget friendly creation used, and I'll link her link in the description box on how she made her Bella Vase. So I started by taking the measurements of the empty paper roll that I had so that I can know the measurements that I require for my cardboards. So I'll be cutting 4" by 12" pieces of cardboard, 4" by 12". Then took my template. I'll be tracing down the shape of this template on my cardboards that I'd cut. And then I'll use my pair of scissors to cut the cardboard into the shape of the templates. If you've seen my previous videos where I've made several vases, I always make my template with a poster board to make it easier to trace it down on the cardboard. So I'll be making points on this empty paper roll so as to know where I'll place down my cardboards, and I used my ruler to join the points so as to give me the straight lines in which will guide me on where to place the cardboards. So these are the cardboard that I cut into shape of the templates. I took my hot glue and started sticking down the cardboard that I had cut. Always remember to enforce on the sides with the glue so that the cardboard won't fall off. After I was done gluing the first row, I went ahead and glued the second row in between the first row. And I always say, if you're not accurate with knowing the middle part, please remember to use your tape measure or your ruler so as to get the middle part correctly, to avoid having an equal opening of the cardboards or unequal edges. After sticking all my cardboard, this is how my vase has turned out. So I'll be making the top part and the bottom part using cardboard so as to cover the openings. I'll use hot glue to stick down the cardboard on the top part of the vase and also on the bottom part of the vase. Then use my pair of scissors to balance or to cut the excess edges of the cardboard that I had cut. And then I'll be using this white poster board I'd cut with these measurements on the screen, 4" by 14.5". So I'll be using this poster board to cover my vase like this on the sides. So I'll be using hot glue to glue it down on my vase. Then used my pair of scissors to cut off the excess poster board on my vase. I went ahead and glued down the poster board on my vase one at a time and cutting off the excess poster board on each opening. After I was done, I took my laser blade, which will help me to cut off the excess part uniformly, whereby the scissors couldn't reach. As you know, Bella Vase have a rough texture, so I'll be using Mod Podge and Sand to give me the rough texture on my vase. So I applied the Mod Podge first and poured the sand on top of my vase to give me the rough texture. I used the normal sand I had at home, which the particles were not even. Some particles were bigger than others, so it was a hard time to get an even texture on my vase. After putting 2 layers of sand on my vase, I noticed my vase wasn't even. Some parts were on top of others, so the texture wasn't that good. I didn't like it. I tried brushing it off with my laundry brush, but I couldn't get the texture that I wanted. I then decided to spray paint it white to see if the texture will be okay. And this is the time I realized that I have really messed up with my vase. The texture was so awful. As you could see on the pictures, it wasn't even at all. So I decided to make another vase, and this time round I'll be using cornflour or maize flour, which has even particles to cover my vase. Unlike the sand, which wasn't sieved, didn't have even particles, so I'll be using cornflour, which has even and smooth particles. Just applied my Mod Podge again and poured my maize flour on top of my vase, the same way I did with the sand. But this time round I'll be using 1 layer. I don't want to use 1 layer because it will not bring an even texture on top of my vase. I started getting hopes. At least it gave me an even texture, and you can see how rough it is. This time round I spray painted it silver. You can see how beautiful it's turning out to be, slowly by slowly, and left it to the sun to dry. After my vase was dry, I took it inside and I applied the first coat of my glitters. So I had to mix the white glitters and the silver glitters. I'll be using Mod Podge, which I diluted with some water to apply the glitters on. I'm using 2 different brushes. One will be used on the edges and the other one on the center part, so as to make sure every part of the vase gets the Mod Podge. After the first layer of glitters dried, I decided to add some other glitters which have bigger particles than the first one. So I'll be using Mod Podge to stick it on my first layer of the small glitters. After applying the second coat, I noticed the big glitters tried to cover up the roughness of the vase. So I decided to mix the small glitters and the big glitters so as to get back the texture that I wanted for the Bella Vase. So I'll be mixing 2 cups of the small glitters and 1 cup of the big glitters. And I went on ahead to stick them on my vase using the Mod Podge. So after applying the first side, I noticed the roughness was coming back. So I went ahead and applied the mix of these glitters all around my vase. And then I took it outside and left it for 2 hours to dry under the sun. And finally guys, this is the final look of my beautiful vase. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section. After the second layer was dried, I added another Mod Podge so as to prevent the glitters from falling off. I just love how beautiful this vase has turned out. And also the glitters, how they're shining. I just love how it has turned out, guys. For more videos, check out my playlist, and also I'll tag along some of my videos in my description box. And for those who are new, please remember to subscribe guys, and click on the notification bell so as to get notified whenever I post a new video. Bye bye, see you next time for a new video.